Oh wow, what the? A raid? What are the timing? Hello. Jeez, y'all playing some Mario Maker? What's up? How's it going? Welcome Raiders, that's right. Let me give you a shout out to, let's see, that was Marky Mark Fluffy Bunch. Jeez, that's Marky Mark Fluffy Bunch. I think I spelled that correctly. Shout out! Let's see, Pokemon Scarlet / Violet. Cool. Hey, how you doing? I've been playing a little bit of that too. A little bit of Pokemon Scarlet / Violet. Seems pretty good. Buggy as all hell, but fun too. I really like the way they've changed the structure of that game. Hey, you got it. Yes, that's right. How's everyone doing? I have a bit of an odd schedule this week because of the holiday, Thanksgiving holiday, and also because I did a big Extra Life thing on Sunday, which, you know, I like to sort of talk about some stuff at the top of every stream. I'm going to talk about first the randomizer roulette, which was a great big stream back on Sunday. It was for Extra Life, raised a bunch of money. Let me pull up a thing that shows how well we did. Super Nintendo, how do you follow the other day, and gave you the chance to check out. Thank you, Melark. That's great to hear. BBJ, great. Hey, how you doing? And Marky Mark Fluffy Bunch. Yeah, thank you a lot for coming by. Yep. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Melark. Thank you, Super Nintendo by extension. Let me show you how well we did through Extra Life. We didn't quite reach our goal, and by the way, if you want to like pop in like 10 or if y'all want to help like get me to the goal in retroactively, y'all, that would be sweet if you would. But we were just $40 short of the 300. I would love it if someone were to get us just over that at some point. Thank you for the follow, Marky Mark Fluffy Bunch. So yeah, so basically the concept anyway, the concept of my that Extra Life stream, which was the other day, was this. I'm gesturing to the side where it's on. It was the randomizer roulette. It was me switching between 4 randomizers every 5 to 20 minutes, or 5 to 10 minutes, jeez. And it was, you know, 12 hours of gameplay, a little more than that in real time because I did take a break and I did spend a bit of time setting it up. And there were some technical issues as well that were a little took a little bit to get through. But basically, spoilers for the randomizer roulette. It all came down. I had a timer running the whole time, and I think I finished at 11 hours and 58 minutes. So really just down to the wire. Like the last 2 randomizers both finished in the last 10 minutes. It was quite a rush to just be like, okay, how fast can we beat Bowser? How fast can we beat Bowser? We got 10 minutes to beat Bowser, and also the final boss of another game. I guess maybe I shouldn't say which one, but it was really rad. The VOD is now on YouTube, in 2 forms. I hope that you know, I'll say it. I had a great time playing it. I hope that when we raised a good amount of money, I had some Bean Boozles for the first time. It was a whole thing. Take down the thing and do another card. I slept a lot. Oh my god, y'all. So the randomizer roulette was on Sunday, right? So Monday, I sleep. And I sleep and I keep sleeping. I get up around like 5 p.m. I fiddle around on the phone a bit, and then I say, okay, I'm going back to sleep. I slept until like midnight, and then like stayed in bed a couple more hours until I noticed my sheets, apparently they got a tear in them. Which made me go, god damn it, I need to get new sheets. And then I got out of bed, and I've been out of bed ever since. So it's kind of weird. This is Tuesday, a day and a half after the randomizer roulette. But for me, it feels like it's just the day after. Kind of weird, I know. I kind of expected to have a buffer day between the randomizer roulette and this here stream, but instead, I just slept. And now my sleep schedule is probably back to being all messed up because I got up at midnight. Or like 4 a.m. or something. Depending on if you count like laying in bed as sleeping. Hey, Seagull. Next card. I did the giveaway. I gave away 2 Steam codes over by raffling them out. I did have a couple people say like, "Hey, I'm good." Well rested then? Yeah, reasonably well rested. You got up at 4 a.m. too? That's good to know. 66JD. Gave away the Steam codes that I had as part of the randomizer roulette as incentives. One of them went to... Should I say who they went to? One of them went to someone, and the other one is still TB determined. I've reached out to them and see if they... I reached out to them and saw, and I'm waiting to see if they're interested, because I've had a couple people say, like, I already have that game, give it to the next person. And I said, okay. And I re-randomized. And I just gotta keep doing it. There's only eight folks in the thing that could get it, so, hey. And basically it's a copy of Wargroove and a copy of Yoku's Island Express. Yoku's Island Express, that one already got accepted. That one's really good. I wish the donor the best with it. I really love that game. Really, really enjoyed the hell out of it. Very, very chill Metroidvania. Pinball Metroidvania. Weird idea, but it works really well. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna mute. Alright. Next thing is a little bit of follow-up on the Bean Boozles. Now, I had those at first time during the last stream. Man, I do not like Bean Boozles at all. They're terrible. Oh my god. And I know that's the idea. I know they're supposed to be terrible. And maybe part of it is that Bean Boozles, by the way, they are basically jelly beans that come in like a variety of colors, and each color can either be a bad flavor or a good flavor. And the bad flavors, oh my god, they're awful. They taste terrible, and they stick in your mouth, and you're just talking, and then you're tasting a little bit of that, like, stink bug or something. And you're like, oh god, stink bug, oh! It's just nasty. And, honestly, just thinking about it since the last stream, I don't like jelly beans, I don't think, to begin with. You gotta get going, Marky Mark Fluffy Bunch. I gotcha. You have a good one. I don't like jelly beans to begin with, and, like, the nasty ones, oh my god, they're bad. I do not want to have any more Bean Boozles ever again. Oh my god. It was for a good cause, though. I basically gave them away as incentives. $25 for a bean. You're heading out as well, Milliarch? Yeah, it is lunchtime, that's right. I even titled the stream, viewer levels at lunchtime, so I know it's lunchtime. I already had some. One more card. Shout out to y'all. Wanted to have this at the end of the last stream, but totally slipped my mind that I forgot to pull it out at the end. I meant to do it as just the last thing before ending the randomizer roulette, but, a lot happened in those last couple of minutes and just sort of got lost in the shuffle. That's a pun. That's sort of a pun. Seagull, does that count as a pun? That counts as a pun, right? Anyway. The queue is open, by the way, if anyone has any Mario Maker levels. Don't see any yet. So, why don't we just go into... I said lost in the shuffle when talking about a card. That's the pun. Let me show y'all. You know what? There's nothing in the queue right now, but I'll show y'all my latest level, which I put out, I updated over the weekend, basically. And, looks like it's gotten 6 likes so far. Clear rate around 9% actually. That sounds about right. 1 comment. Nick Thick says so tough. Okay. Let me play it for y'all. And then I'll talk about the next level a little bit. Looks like. And again, queue is open. I know this is an unusual time for viewer levels. It's on a Tuesday. Usually I do it on Mondays and Fridays, but like I said, wanted to sleep and sleep and sleep yesterday, so wasn't really in the viewer level mood. So this level is built around is built around these claws, these hanging claws, and also blue platforms, and also you get a Yoshi. Wanted to make a level that used Magic Koopas, so that was a big focus. And also wanted to use these claws, and one of the core ideas with these claws was that in an earlier level in my Super World, I used them as like swinging things, as you know, in that you swung off them, and also you collected Koopa shells that landed in them and could throw it again. In this level, I wanted to use it slightly differently. I wanted to use them differently. So instead, this level focuses on hooks that are holding enemies instead. So there's a little bit of gameplay like this around like them releasing them at the right time or running under them, that sort of thing. There's also some crushers in the back half. The updates to this were small. I moved a couple of like one enemy around and made this room have a little more headroom as far as like you know, you have a little more space to jump around. Other than that, it's the same as it was last week. And these are pretty minor changes. Just wanted to make it flow a little better in the event that you had a Yoshi already and didn't need to go down to get another one, basically. Anyway, that's Meteor Meltdown, the third level of the 7th world of my Super World. Which, by the way, it's called Mario Country, Waluigi's Triple Threat. That's a lovely name. 6 worlds are done. 33 levels are done. And if y'all want to get in any levels, that would be a great time. Now, one of the reasons why this is a space world and why these levels are not like what you typically would think of as space is because, let me pull up the world maker and see if it's loaded. It is. Good. This is the world map here, and you can see I'm using the these little level icons to basically represent like a ice comet, a desert meteor, and like a water asteroid. So you see each of these levels has to be space and also has to be toward a sort to a scene. It's nearly 8 here, so it's prime time. Nah, it's 26 and JD here because that's the name of 66 JD. Good joke. Almost Seagull. So now the next level I'm working on is, of course, this level right here, and I've honestly not done that much on it. It is currently named as Aquatic Asteroid, and I have some very early ideas. Very early ideas. By the way, again, queue is open! Exclamation point add. I've been messing around with some cannons because I kind of like the idea of using cannons. Haven't used cannons in a bit. Not since World 4, I think, so maybe cannons would be a good enemy for this world. I have also considering messing around with like the Dry Bones boat. So maybe having some gameplay around that, like sort of ducking into the water and doing some stuff. Since this is a pretty late level, late in the Super World, I think it's fine that if you lose the boat, you just die. I think that's a fine thing for World 7. Also, you know, just because of how like dangerous the boat is, I've never actually used it in the proper like swimming sense, you know, to go across water or something. I've only used it in the other sense. And the other thing I have as an idea, just like thinking about it, is I think maybe, is it not a wet bones boat? It's a dry bones. It's the enemy is called Dry Bones Seagull. That's why. The other thing that just occurred to me just the other day is I think it might be best if the Dry Bones boat doesn't go underwater. So I can do that just by forcing the player to abandon it before they go into the pipes and go into the subworld. I get it. I get the pun, Seagull. I'm just saying, you know, just so you know, in case you don't. In the water, Dry Bones boat kind of acts kind of weird because it always makes it so you float up. kind of makes it so when you bounce, you can like bounce off enemies you otherwise wouldn't be able to, like like these skeleton guys, and also like spike top motherfuckers, that sort of thing, and fish, and just fish. Which isn't a bad idea, but I kind of think like the fact that it sort of drifts up when you're not holding it makes it feel weird to me. I think it'd be better if you were just regular swimming. Yeah, this part is very empty. Yeah, I know, it's just a test area. I was just literally like seeing like, okay, is it better to swim down or more interesting to swim up? And I think the answer is swimming down is fun, but when you bounce off a guy and you end up like reeling up all slow like, that kind of sucks. Whereas like if you were going up instead, let me just do this instead. I'll do it the reverse. Going up instead. If you go up instead, it's almost a little better. But also, it takes a little bit too long to, like, bounce on every guy as you're passing by. You know, it almost feels like, why would you, you know? You're already by them once you've already, like, gone up over them. You're already past them. You don't have to deal with them. You don't have to do shit. It doesn't feel as relevant as going down as it would when you're going down. Maybe you could do like a mix, right? Maybe you could do like do edit course. Maybe you could do like a mix, right? By the way, there's the Nightbot saying that oh, the big stream is over, but still want to contribute, you can. I would love to hit that goal. You know, obviously after one stream, you know, we are back to business as normal. You can see down there, the sub goal is back. I have reduced it by the amount we had, the progress we had made previously. So it is now at 7 new subs rather than 10. But things are back to normal. But if you wanna still contribute to that extra life, that'd be nice. Just because, you know, like I showed here, we are still, you know, $40 short. Is that $40 or did someone? Let's see. Who was the last donor? That bar looks so nearly full. I just look at it and go like, oh, has it changed? It hasn't. It hasn't changed. Okay. Anyway, that's where this level stands. It's very, very early. Maybe you could do something like, if you want to do the dry bones, maybe you do something like you swim up first, and then you have to swim back down. And then killing enemies on the way up is relevant on the way down. But I don't know. I think for the dry bones boat, I think it's better to do something like this. Where you swim through the water, and then you literally have to give up the boat to continue. And you gotta make sure that there's nothing that the player can jump on to get the way up, because, you know, in this example right here, whoop, this example right here, they could do this, and that ain't right. You have to have some anti-cheese setup that that disallows that, because otherwise they could do some junk. I'm not sure if there's a better way to like prevent someone from having a dry bone shell, but that's all that comes to mind to me. Anyway, the level is very early, basically. I ain't got nothing there. Let's go ahead and get into some of these levels. I'm gonna pull up the larger viewer level bar, and then I'm gonna hit next. And thank y'all for coming by at this unusual time and giving me viewer levels. Usually I do this, like I said, Monday nights and Friday evenings. And you know, this is Tuesday. This is usually during the workday, or you know, in the middle of the workday. But you know, it's Thanksgiving week. I took the week off. I added 3 days of PTO to the 2 days of holiday that I got, and as a result, I get this nice 9-day vacation. And yeah, it's lovely. Let me tell you how this works for those who are new. Let me tell you how we do things around here. By the way, Chain Chomp, Super Mario Maker 2, thank you for the level. Let me tell you how this works. If you are here when your level comes up, I give it the full time of day, which means, outside the lightning round, 15 minutes plus 5 last tries if that's not enough. If you are not here, I still play the level, but I do so in very nearly, but not quite sudden death, in which I only have 2 tries to beat the level, refreshing at checkpoints. So that's how we do things. I think that's a fair compromise between, prioritizing the people who are active and ready to go, and also playing more levels when it's fun, and also making a little bit of a challenge out of it. It's a good system. I like it a lot. Hello, Golas Gaming. Let me look at that up close. Goliath. That's it. Oh, you got one. This is for us, Seagull. I know that you're not typically a maker yourself. You must have sourced us a good one, though. Let's go ahead and punch in this code, and then we'll get going on the first level of the night. I hope that people check out that randomizer roulette stream. What kind of levels do you like? I like a traditional. I like a traditional level, but I'll play just about anything you got for me. Though, I'll say I'm not like the best as far as like Kaizo goes. I can manage to like Kaizo, but like don't expect me to do shell jumps very well. You'll mostly see me failing, I think. But whatever you find fun to watch me do, just go ahead and do it. They'll all get played by the end of the stream. I've never in this stream had to not play a level. Hello, Captain Pollution TV. I've never in Mario Maker not played a level, basically. Whenever I play, I clear the queue out every time I do a stream. Because I do at the end of every stream, I do what I call the lightning round, in which I only have 5 tries to beat each level, refreshing at checkpoints, and that makes it so that we keep things moving, right? That sort of challenge. It keeps things moving and means that I can empty out a queue no matter how deep it goes. And it's fun as fuck. It's good. I love the lightning round, and I hope you do too, because we're doing it, as we always do. That thumbnail looks good. Yeah, it's a good-looking thumbnail in this level by Lord Bowser. Let's go ahead and put 15 minutes on the clock, and let's go. I didn't bring my water over there. Have some nice attempts on that level. Yeah, okay, I will. Oh, it's going well, by the way. This is the... For those who are just joining, I talked a little bit about this earlier. Jeez, I gotta watch out for those guys. Talked a little bit about this earlier, but I did a big extra live stream on Sunday. I've mostly been sleeping since then. But we went 12 hours, raised around this many dollars for charity. And I did something I called the randomizer roulette, wherein I played 4 really good randomizers and basically completed them all in 12 hours. All 4 of them. And that's not even the best bit. The best bit was I was randomly switching between them using something called a BizHawk Shuffler, sort of a program that lets you it's sort of like a extension for an emulator that lets you switch between games randomly within a certain interval. Mine was 5 to 10 minutes. Apparently, you're gonna see something like that at GDQ. I think in AGDQ there was a BizHawk Shuffler run of like Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. I think that is something that was accepted. So that'll be fun. Mine was kind of similar, except it was randomizer, so a lot of me running around trying to figure out where I need to go, and also just, trying to remember where I was going, oftentimes, as I'm going back into a randomizer, like, at half hour, Sometimes the gap between one randomizer and its next appearance would be like 10, would be like a half hour or more, so, sometimes you lose your train of thought doing stuff like that, but somehow I managed to meet my estimate, I'll say that. Technically. Not counting breaks. Not counting breaks. Anyway. Y'all should check out that VOD. It was a really fun stream. And for a good cause as well. I'm not gonna talk about Extra Life all day. That's silly. GG, indeed. That's some good timing, Chain Chop. I just finished it when you put up the GG. All right, let's go ahead and take that timer down. Thank you for the level, Lord Bowser. I like that level, right? Let me make sure. Yes, I did. Okay, let's go ahead and hit complete. By the way, if you like traditional levels, I got a lot of them. Check out my work in progress super world. Check out my various levels. Maker codes always at the bottom of the stream. Complete. And let's go ahead and do next. Next up is by Chain Chomp Super Mario Maker 2. By the way, little pro tip: you can continue submitting levels until the queue is closed. It doesn't matter how many you get in a stream. Just go ahead and keep submitting them. Feel free, you know. So long as the queue isn't closed, it's cool. You can even resubmit the same one, even if I mess up. You know, even if I can't finish. I'll give another shot at it once it comes back, you know, back around, basically. Alright, Chain Chomp is here, but let me do something. I have a bunch of these cards. They're not just for announcements. I also have them throughout the stream to sort of remind me of things I want to talk about. Like this. Did you see the Mario Kart Wave 3 DLC trailer? I saw that earlier today. Looking forward to that. That's coming in. I feel like I hear a car or something. That's coming in, or maybe maybe it's a lawnmower or something. It is middle of the day. That's coming in next week, I think, and I'm looking forward to that. I'll say none of the tracks. Let's see. Let me see what Mario Kart tracks spoke to me. By the way, this is Spiked Ruins. Looks nice. High clear rate. Let's go. I think the Ghost House, the Ghost Lake looks cool. Looks like a classic Ghost Boardwalk level, but it goes underwater. That's kind of neat. Don't think I've ever seen a Ghost House Boardwalk Lake that goes underwater. That's quite novel. I'm looking forward to the Peach Gardens one. That's just a classic.
Oh no!
You don't really play or like traditional levels. Goliath Gaming? Huh. Can't relate. I love them. That's my main thing. There's the Peach Gardens. That looks pretty good. There's also like the Christmas track. That's very appropriate for the season. Other than that, I'm not sure there was much that really stuck out to me. Jumped out at me, but I'm sure there'll be some good ones in there once I get my hands on them and, you know, play them. The Mario Kart Tour tracks, for instance, like the cities, have previously been really good when converted into Mario Kart 8 tracks. What? Oh, there's the ending.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
That's a funny ending. I guess because you could see the side of the screen, you should know it's that way. Here's a question for you, Goliath Gaming. That's enough talk about Mario Kart. Looking forward to it. I'll probably check it out next week with some folks off stream. You know, I could also play some on stream maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's a funny flagpole. That's right. Let me ask you, Goliath Gaming. Let me ask you this. Do you play like other platformers, like a Mario game, like an actual Mario game, or like a Donkey Kong, or like a Sonic game? You ever play any of those, or you know, get those? Not really. So just literally, huh? Are there any platformers you will play, like a Meat Boy or a or like a Celeste. You know, those ones are a little less in like the Mario traditional vein, a little bit more like in like the light Kaizo sense. Just Super Mario Maker 2? Huh. That's funny. That I guess, you know, hey. What is your definition of Kaizo and troll? As Captain Pollution TV. That's a good question. Let me go ahead and hit complete, and then hit next. Next one is by Almost Seagull. Seagull was just talking about the funny flagpole. Seagull is here. I'm gonna pull up another card while I am writing in the code. Did y'all hear about Hive? After I finished the last stream, the randomizer roulette, the big extra live stream where we raised this much money. Pretty sick. After I finished that stream, I looked on Twitter and everyone was talking about Hive. Everyone was talking about like, oh, I'm joining Hive. I'm running over there now. I'm making an account. That's the new thing. That's the new thing. Hive. It's like Twitter, but it only has an app, which is different from co-host, which is like Twitter. Well, actually, it's kind of like Tumblr, but it doesn't have it only has a website. So Hive only has an app. Hive, what year is it? It's like Hive Social is what it's called. It's called Hive Social. And I signed up for an account. I looked at it, and I realized, like, what I saw someone on Twitter saying later on, like, we're not moving to Hive. We're not moving to Hive. People were depressed on Sunday, and they made an account in 20 minutes. That's all it's gonna be. It doesn't have a web client, so there's no, like, checking it on the computer. Kind of weird. And also, and this is true, I found this out today, you can't copy and paste to Hive. So I guess if you want to, like, do a link, you have to, like, manually type it out on your phone. Weird. That's, yeah, I don't know about that. What would you call a level where you have multiple ways to beat? Asked Captain Pollution. What do you mean multiple ways? Like multiple win conditions? Oh, maybe you mean like multiple ways to beat, as in like, yeah, in a traditional level there is flexibility, and how you play the level will depend on the routing. But there are also levels that, like, take a Super Meat Boy level, right? There's not one way through a Super Meat Boy level, but there's one optimum way. And a lot of the playing of it is trying to find that one way. And so too in like take Neon White for instance, right? Neon White is very much about speed running through levels. And on, like, first glance, there might be just one way through them, like one intended way, but you can find all sorts of shortcuts in every level if you look. So does that count? Does that make it, like, more traditional or more speedrunny? Thank you for the follow, Ratchet Toad. How you doing? Yes, I see. Hey. I think there's, like, a fine distinction between a lot of those things. And a lot of, yeah, gray area. Things are sometimes hard to describe and hard to define, but a lot of times people go for, or just making their own thing. Like, what is this? This level maybe more of a shmup. This level is more of a shmup than anything. You know, you're avoiding stuff. That's the genre this is in. This is in the shooter genre, as in like a Galaga or like Galaga? Like Galaga, yeah, like Galaga. I think is what this one is in. And also auto scroll and single player, I guess. Those are the other two things. By the way, Ratchet Toad, you can only add one at once. Oh, you did do replace. That's right. Okay. I was wondering if you were trying to add two at the same time, seeing the message twice, but I see you intentionally were replacing one with the other. Maybe you used the wrong code first time. Let's thank you for the level, Seagull. That was an interesting one. I haven't seen many shmups here, even though I wasn't shmupping that much, but that was a shmup level. I thought it was pretty good. Nice. Let me go ahead and hit complete on that. And then hit next. Next level is by Goliath Gaming, who, let's see, I think just a second ago. Just a second ago, you were talking. I thought I saw Goliath just a second ago talking about how I would take the level. I guess that was a minute ago. Goliath, go ahead and confirm. I know you're still here, but go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the next card while I enter in the code. Did y'all hear about funny Pokemon glitches? There's been a lot of funny Pokemon glitches that have hit Twitter. Like, I saw one where I honestly, I don't know if all these are glitches. More, some of them are just like people doing things and standing in places, and NPCs happen to stand in places, and it happening to be very funny. Like an NPC walking it through the middle of a battlefield, you know, where two Pokemon are fighting. Just, I'm coming this way. Get out of my way, dudes. Or like there was one where a NPC was very badly positioned, where like a little Goliath Gaiman says, is there? Yep, very good. Confirmed. There was one where an NPC was standing around at just the right position for one of those white Diglett worm guys to be right in the position where his dick would be. And it looked like his dick was a Diglett, fucking going like, "Arr!" You know, doing the things the Diglets do. Or I think it's a Wiglet in this case. His Wiglet dick was just going crazy. And then the other trainer, she catched the Wiglet dick. And the Wiglet dick popped out of the Pokeball. You cannot contain your Wiglet dick. There was one where like an what the fuck is it called? An Ursula? 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 That doesn't sound right, but I think it's pretty close. There was an Ursula who appeared on screen for like fraction of a second, just something else going on, and Teddy Ursa appears on the second, and it disappears within a second. Within a fraction of a second. And what it turned out to be was that was another player releasing their Ursa ring. Ursa ring? I think that's it, Ursa ring. And then just like pulling it back within a second. And that manifests on someone else's screen as just a Pokemon appearing for a split second. It looks weird, man. It's like right out of a horror movie. It's funny. There's also some other ones like jumping up slopes. Apparently, if you turn your bike backwards, you can jump up slopes by like going backwards, and you won't slide down if you do it like that, which is very funny. Lot of good glitches in this new Pokemon game. I will say though, I think it's very good. I think it's very good so far. I've been playing it a little bit, and I like everything they've done with it. As far as like the open world goes, as far as like the objectives seem cool. I like the you got a level for me, almost Seagull, very nice. I like the way that the Team Star fights are almost more like Musou games. That's kind of neat. That's kind of novel. I like what they've done. This is a very short level. I don't know why I uploaded it. Let's go. It has a 9% clear rate, so that sounds pretty nice. And you came back to me talking about the new Pokemon. That's what that was. Ooh. More of a puzzle. Yes, I was delinked. Okay. Okay, there seems to be a vine, multiple vines. Is it vines all the way to the side? Looks like it might be. Yep, all vines. Oops, all vines. Alright, we've concluded that there's those vines there and no other vines to be found. If there was vines, how would that work? What? What? Dang. That's true. Dang is right. That's a funny way to do your troll level. Well, one way to... What if I go through regular Mario? Oh, it relinks you. It relinks you, huh? Here, I want to not jump. Dang. Yeetus Hawk, hey, how you doing, Yeetus? Good to see y'all. What if I break holes in the ground before I leave? I could do that real fast. Maybe there's a key somewhere in this like under area. Kind of like dialing it in here. Hey, Fox Erp? Fox Erp? That can't be right. Let me look a little closer. Fox Erp, that's right. Hey, how you doing, Fox Erp? Thank you for the level. Or the mega code. Either way, thank you. Be getting to it, you know, sometime soon. I am not sure the puzzle has anything to do with breaking holes in the ground. No, I'm feeling like that's not right. So, oh no. Blocked off for jumping. Really good, you? Yeah, I'm doing good. I just, the other day, I mentioned it a couple times, but last Sunday, did a whole extra life stream, and while we didn't make our goal on that, we did raise a good amount of money, and also we had a good time, and I feel good about that. I feel okay about that. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Jumping is not doing it, and the tire is gonna make me jump. And, yeah. I can't be big. Can I, like, throw a bomb before... Pipe is not important. Oh, you're saying we don't have to go through the pipe? Is that what you're saying? Wait a minute. What if... Here's an idea. Here's an idea. The exit... This is the end of the level. This here is the end of the level. The exit is somewhere hidden beneath. What about here? No, not here. The exit is somewhere within the walls. Or like within the stuff that you can destroy. That is my current guess. Current notion. But I already blew up most of these and I didn't see it, so let's try let's try going down there actually. Dialing this in. little forward. Forward. Kind of looks like it's... I'm not sure if I'm too far forward or too... There we go. We can also throw a bomb under the block. Oh, that works as well. Now, I don't see a circle. Oh shit! Hidden by the slope. Wow. Didn't know you could hide an ending behind a slope. It does say the Stored in the Stone is the name of the level. Yeah, I did need a hint there. Let me see what the comments say. Beat it, me too. Hey, it's me, LZ60. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm gonna hear. How? Sorry. Impossible. Help. Yeah. Thank you for the level, Goliath Gaming. Go ahead, feel free to put in another if you so please. Again, I'll say for anyone new how this works again. If you're here when your level comes up, I give you the full time of day, 15 minutes plus 5 last tries. If that's not enough. If you're not here, I do it. I still do the level, but I do it so in nearly sudden death. Wherein I very nearly, but not quite sudden death. That's the full name of the thing. Wherein I only have 2 tries, refreshing at checkpoints. That's how we do things. It's a pretty nice system, if I do say so myself. Did I hit complete? Let me do that. And now you can get in another level if you wish, if you like. Next is by Captain Pollution TV, who just said GG is here. I'm gonna pull up another card and talk about it while I'm entering the code. These next couple of cards are animes that are upcoming, or that are like soon, but not out yet, or like I haven't watched them yet anyway. And basically, sort of follows up a little bit on during the randomizer roulette. I talked a lot about the various simulcast shows that I'm watching. Now we're gonna talk about a couple movies that are upcoming, like the Laid Back Camp movie, which is gonna be on Crunchyroll on Thursday. Really love Laid Back Camp, the show, and I've been really looking forward to the movie, and I'm really happy that it's just on Crunchyroll, and I don't have to go to a theater. And what better day for it, too, than Thanksgiving? Like, Jesus Christ, that is a cozy anime about camping out in, like, the winter and, like, the late fall, in, like, the fall or winter. And what better time for that than Thanksgiving, the coziest of all holidays? Well, is Thanksgiving cozy? No, Christmas is cozier. I guess if it came out on Christmas, that might actually be better timing. But if it came out on Christmas, you would expect it to have, like, Christmas bits in it, right? Like, which, to be fair, Laid Back Camp actually has had Christmas bits in it already, but, hey. Now, my dear streamer, let me introduce you to this special experience. Let's see how well you do on it. Ooh, let's see. What's the clear rate? 1.64%. I've seen worse. Let's go. That's not so bad, especially with 3 checkpoints or 2 checkpoints. 3 checkpoints. No such thing. You couldn't do 3 checkpoints. That's not how it works. Unless you're talking about a repeating checkpoint. Don't talk so loud, my friend. You mean, is that a reference to this level, or should I speak more softly? I will say I'm sort of I talk loud. That's just how I do things. That's just who I am. I've always talked loud, and is what it is. I'm sure it's probably a joke. Not trying to be weird about it or nothing. It would be weird if you were telling me to I do think it's weird to say, hey, you know. Ah, okay. You're saying like, don't. You're just saying, don't be so sure, don't be so hasty. Gotcha. I seem to have caused a problem for myself, and I cannot eat this problem. Sorry, Yoshi. I think you're fucked over there. That's not so bad. I think I'm... Yeah. Gotcha, Captain Pollution TV. You just meant... You say that now. That's what you meant. Anyway, looking forward to laid back camp. Don't know when I'm gonna watch it. I got Thanksgiving plans, you know, Thursday and Friday, so I guess I'll, you know, watch it whenever I... So do I have my choice of like which room I do? And I can do any of these rooms maybe? I think I kinda have my pick of the litter. Ooh. Careful. That was the first scrap level that did not make the cut for your Super World Lord Bowser earlier. Nice. I take it you're gonna submit the second one now then. That sounds good to me. 31 streamers have played it. 12 have beaten it. Gotcha. Well, we'll see what we do. We will happily be another stat. Wait, how's this one work? I have to give the Yoshi. I think one thing I'm learning right now is do not hit any of the question mark blocks. They all contain booze. And booze, I don't know if you know this, they're bad. You don't wanna... Fuck. The booze, they're not good. Well, they're not good for you. They're not good for me. You don't want to fuck with them. Once they're released, it's a whole thing. Here's scrap level number 2. The old 2-4. Huh. I'll say I've actually... in my Super World, I have in fact had some level ideas that didn't pan out, but most of them were scrapped in the ideas phase, right? Or I said like, I'm not sure about that. Let me try to come up with a better idea, and then I came up with a better idea, right? Or I came up with a more workable idea, and that was it. It's interesting, Lord Bowser, that you've actually built out the levels and then decided to scrap them. I wonder if there would be any level that I would scrap in my Super World. I'd like to think no. I'd like to think like no. Even given the chance, I would replace nothing. Everything is unique in its own way, and I would keep every level. But I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Let me think for a second on that. Maybe like Maelstrom Mayhem. But I think that level turned out really well, and I've heard people like that level a lot, so... And it makes a good, like, finale for the second world. No, I wouldn't change that one. Oh, shit, some of these are not. In fact... Boo wheels. Oh, you really gotta book it, huh? I'm locked in here, yeah. I can see why so many streamers didn't finish it. I can see why. And we got 9 minutes left, folks, so yeah, we'll do our best. But do you have a favorite Mario game style and maker? No, I like to keep it fair and balanced, man. Oh, not in like a politically, I don't like to keep it fair and balanced, quote unquote. I am very left in my politics, but in my Mario Maker, I like to keep things fair and balanced. I like to give each style equal play. So as far as like my levels go, in my Super World, when it's finished, it will have an equal number of every game style, of everything. Many people say World is their favorite. Yeah, I can see that. That's a very... Ha! Really? World is like the most beloved, I think, of the games, right? So yeah, I can see why that one would be like the favorite. Would be the favorite of on average, right? But I do think there are some things about World which are pretty weird to design around, right? Like, in particular, the way that enemies, most of them don't die if you jump on them. That can be very peculiar to design levels around and to, like, deal with. Alright, we got, like, the on-off blocks situation sorted. So that's nice. Let me go re-Yoshi up. Why don't we go in this room that we unlocked with the on-off block? I would say if I had to choose... I'm not gonna choose. I'm not gonna choose. I think they're all good. They all have things that they are good about. They all have things that they are good for. And things that are, you know... That one's a bit weird. I think they all have strengths and they all have weaknesses, and the trick is, like, finding the best ways to, like, bring out the strengths and reduce the weaknesses. That's just, you know, design, right? I'm gonna go into this one with a P-switch, so that if, okay. Never mind. Wait. Fucking an invisible block there. Got me. That was an invisible block. I think that's... Whatever. I shouldn't complain. Okay. My eye has been, like, really irritating me today. I don't know why. It's getting all, like... Getting all such that I have to blink and close it. I feel like I got something in it, but I don't know what it could be. No fucking idea. You just saw a glimpse of the level? Yeah, yeah. I see, you have made here a real motherfucker, and I'm sure you know that. This here is a real fucker. And you should be proud. No effing idea what might be in your eye? Yes, that's right. Idea. Yes, I see the pun. I acknowledge your pun, Seagull. Consider your pun. Oh, this is a much easier room to get a key in. Why didn't I get a key last time, actually? Last time I went in, hit the on-off, and exited. Okay, there we go. I think you're retina way. Retina way? Like right in the way? That one maybe a little more workshopping. There you go. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, bodies be like, ah, damn, fuck. Ow. I wish my eye didn't hurt. That's what I wish right now. Like, it would be much easier to, you know, be awake and be alert and shit if my eye didn't hurt when I closed it sometimes. Sure, that's just something that gets more pronounced as you get older, right? Like, oh, body parts just start hurting. And it is what it is. It is Thanksgiving. I guess I should be, or it's Thanksgiving in 2 days. Guess I should be thankful that it doesn't hurt too bad. It only hurts a little bit. I guess I should be thankful that, no, I don't want anything to do with this room. This room sucks. This ain't it. Top room. Top room is what I want. It's a little chaotic, but the longest attempt was like 70 minutes. Damn, we're 2 minutes away, on the other hand, from the big 15. Which is the nice shell. Okay. All right. We made it out. We got the key. We got the on-off. We know where the P-switch is. Now all we need to do is go get us a Yoshi for, you know, safety and not die in the process. Alright. Light speed shell. Broke the dimension. Says chat. Alright, go. And you had to clear check this. You had to finish this all in one go. You had to do it all in the, you know, time limit of 500 seconds. Pretty impressive, I suppose. Unless there's a dev exit. There's not, though, yeah? That would be dishonorable if there were. Hey, look at that. We did the thing. That's gotta be it. Look at that. We got a checkpoint. This seems familiar. This is the... See you, Yoshi. Well, we got a checkpoint. It's fine. Alright. I can turn off the wall here. Okay. This is what we wanted to do the first time. Okay. Timer's up. Let's go ahead and take that down. Put up the 5 last tries. We got 5 last tries to finish low. Every death is a try. And after 5 of them, you move on. That's the first try. We got some progress, it's true. Is there any way to hit that on-off through the wall? Fuck! That's the second try. Any death, no matter how dumb, counts, basically. Used to be, when I first came up with the system, I had some sort of differentiation of like, oh, that doesn't count. I'm not counting that. Nowadays, everything counts. Silly or not, try's a try. That's just the only way we can, be fair and honest here. It counts. It always counts. And also, by the way, as in the lightning round, checkpoints do refresh our tries. Wait a minute. I can make fireballs from these guys. Does that allow me to do more doors? Why are there more doors? Okay. This is door number 1. Ustream viewer levels 2, but don't have a timer. Just play as long as you want. I like timer keeps us honest. Keeps us honest. Keeps us no. Let's do this room. This room doesn't look too hard. Hidden block. So many hidden blocks here, huh? There's some real nonsense to contend with. God damn it. Excuse me for not recognizing obvious patterns. That is on me. We did it! What did we do? We hit an on-off. Yeah, but we don't have a key, and we don't have a P. Maybe we need a P to get through the top door. One thing is that we do have... We can't make a fireball out of this, but a fireball won't toggle the thing, right? Well, let me see. If it did, that would be convenient, but no such luck. Last try here, folks. We'll be moving on to the next level. That was a quick one. Thank you for the level. That clear rate seems quite high for the level as it is. With the 1.6%. That's like 1 out of 50 tries gets through, basically. 1 out of... maybe like 1 out of every 75? I don't know. Do the math. Someone do the math. Tell me how much... What that translates to as number of tries versus, like, time to get through. Nice tries. Yep. Nice tries indeed. Captain Pollution... GG. Thank you for the level. Let me go ahead and hit next. Bring up the next level. We should be thinking about the lightning round now. It's coming up on time for the lightning round. Around an hour into the stream now. So start thinking about that in the back of your heads. Start thinking about that in the back of your heads. Meanwhile, I have more cards. I see that Ratchet Toad is here. Fantastic. While I'm entering the code, I'll bring up a card. Quintuplets movie is in theaters December 2nd. Quintuplets, the quintessential quintuplets is a very good harem type anime / romance. Wherein the show is about a boy who is tutoring 5 identical quintuplets who all have different personalities, and there is some drama over which one he's going to end up with. And I'll say one thing I think that is really remarkable about it is that the whole thing is framed as a flashback. The first episode starts out in the future at a wedding and being the anime is just very straight up and being let me just let you in on this at the start. He's going to get married to one of these one of these quintuplets. I'm not gonna tell you which one, but just one of them. Keep that in mind. And I think that little framing device goes a long way to like making it less leery and less like less of a fantasy and more of a fun romantic mystery. Like, ooh, which one is he gonna line up with? It's sort of like the effect of How I Met Your Mother, right? It's sort of that framing keeps it from being like, oh, maybe he'll have, he'll get with all of them. Like, nope, he gets with one of them. It's confirmed, it's canon. Don't worry about it. It's not a one. That's one. Someone's gonna win this. Please understand. And I think that helps a lot. And I understand in the movie, I think that's the finale. I think we actually do find out who is the actual who he marries, and I'm looking forward to that. I have no idea. I have no guesses. And I'm gonna go to the theaters and watch it. By the way, it does come out on a Friday, which is when I would usually be doing viewer levels, but the Friday after this Friday, no stream as well. This Friday, no stream because Thanksgiving stuff. Next Friday, no stream because of that movie. Really looking forward to it, though. I think it's going to be a real good one. I think it's going to be rad. I really love the quintessential quintuplets. And also, I've been watching it myself rewatching it the last week or two. So it just has fantastic timing on my part. And also, I'm glad I checked to see when it's coming out, or I might have missed it. That's the thing about anime movies. You'll miss it if you're not careful. Let's go into Ratchet Toad's level. 10% clear rate. Looks like there might be a clear goal. Yes. Grab all the coins. Okay, let's go. Oop, I did not grab all the coins. I only grabbed some of the coins there. But we get to go down. This has like fun obstacle course vibes, and I like how like you can go about it in multiple orders. What's the deal here? Why arrow? I'm not quite following. Do I destroy these guys? Ooh, yes I do. I get a key if I do so. That seems important. Yes, it is a nice level. That's right. 69 is the nice number. Levels like this, like Ratchet Toad, were you one of the ones that was asking about like genre? Like how do you classify certain levels? With that last level, I would say, how would I describe the last level? Like a maze, or like a trolley maze. I would say. I would say it's troll adjacent. This is more like an obstacle course than traditional, I would say. It's a fun obstacle course, though. I'll be clear. I think it does some fun things, and you're being asked to do like. You're being asked to like. It's a sky guard. Yes, I can see that, but I'm just saying it's like an obstacle course. Pipe those nowhere. Go through the door. I missed a coin? Crap. I guess I should jump off the thing. Oh. My eye is it's all irritated. Okay, we're gonna try not to miss the coin this time. Okay. I like how each area sort of like, starts and stops with a key door. And once you get all the coins in an area, you're gonna want to like hustle it to the key door. Oh, this one maybe? Yeah, fuck, I did miss this. Also, I just wasted my mushroom. Did I miss anything else? A 10 coin, that's right. Pretty big coin to miss. I'll be a little more observant. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. I think we got everything, so let's go. Fuck! Oh, I should get the... There's a cape. Get the cape, that makes that easy to do. And, less likely to kill you. Alright, 1, 2. Got it. Get these and get these. Now 17. How about another card while we're just going through this for the 5th time or whatever? Chair anime movie next year in America. Y'all see about that? Fucking movie about a girl who dates a chair or something. Like a guy who turns into a chair. Kind of a weird concept, but it's by the person who made, the director, I guess, that made Your Name and Weathering With You. Two movies that are very good. Weathering With You, maybe a little less good, a little more trite. Your Name, phenomenal movie. And Weathering With You, very fun. What I hear, though, people are saying that this new one is, like, extremely good. Despite being about a girl who dates a chair. Or a guy who turns into a chair. They're saying it's fucking really good. Which is kind of a surprise because everyone saw the trailer. It was like, aha, that's a funny... You done a funny joke here, buddy. Apparently it is just legitimately good. Do we need to kill that guy? You know what? I think we need to kill that guy, didn't we? Yeah, we do. Well, might as well. This now. On-off's in the right spot now, so let's just go ahead and do this again. That guy's probably the best of the Koopalings, I guess. Most Koopalings, they bounce around, they like go back and forth for like a half hour before you can hit him again. That guy just sort of pops up and you know, does it quick. Appreciate that a lot. All right, let's we finally got past a new thing. Finally got to a new area we haven't seen before. That chair anime, I hope it's good. Apparently it is. People are saying it is. I guess I'll say I'm looking forward to it. I did think Weathering With You was really good, honestly. It wasn't an impressive movie. It was very much just like, oh yeah, it's a... what? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? What happened there? I don't know what happened there. Executive decision time. It's time for the decision. After this level, we will start the lightning round. This is the last level of non-lightning round. Fuck! Missed a coin there. Lightning round coming up after this level. Look forward to it. It's my favorite part of the stream. at basically towards the end of every Mario Maker stream, I go into the lightning round. Or sometimes I start it out from the start, which is a rare exception, but a fun one. Don't worry, Seagull. Either way, we'll be having fun. And if it's a hard one, you know, hey, you'll get to see me die repeatedly. It pointed up to the platform. It's true. It's true. There was an arrow pointing where we needed to go. It's just that I guess I jumped and I didn't get in. I was like, what? Huh? We just have to jump higher, I think, is the key. I think you're right, Ratchet. Win or lose, the lightning round is just good fun. Hope you all appreciate it for that. We got 27, so we are at the right ballpark. Weird. Does that area just have the 10 coin in it? I guess it must, because I remember at the first area we have 17 coins. Then we come into this area with 27, so I guess that 10 coin is the only coin in that whole section. Huh. Okay, be ready to jump. What? The fucking roof of that thing fucking popped me out from under. Holy shit. I think we're doing worse than the clear rate right now. I guess maybe most people who have played this level are really good. Usually I think the clear rates are a little bit generous, you know, like, oh yeah, fucking 20%, but, you know, most people will be able to get through it in 1 or 2. It's like, I mean, I don't know what contributes to clear rates, but a lot of clear rate stuff seems like, kind of semi-random and also semi-based on, like, how many people who plays it. But with a lot of levels, if you saw a 10%, you could be pretty certain, like, oh yeah, I might die once or twice. So for a 10% level to actually involve you dying 10 times, that's rare. That's rare right there. I suppose also it might just feel long because, you know, if each try lasts for minutes, you know, if each try lasts for a while, it feels longer than it actually is. It's not that long, it's just, you know, you're doing a lot of tries, and each try is taking a fairly long time relative to those. You're probably coming up, Edis. Oops. Gotta get those coins. I hope that losing that that cape isn't a problem. Seagull is first. Gotcha, Seagull. Cup. Fuck. It's a hard jump to make. Maybe stand on the right so you go under the platform, but then jump. Bang that guy into that. Okay. And I'll say, by the way, going back to the randomizer roulette and Extra Life, I did have a goal during Extra Life to get up to $300, and we were just short of it. Again, just short of it. I gotta be holding Y. I always hold Y. Listen, believe me, I am never not holding Y, except when I want to hit Y to like do a fireball. Even then, I continue to hold it after. Didn't make our goal, but I'll say, you know, you can continue to donate, and I'll say if we hit the goal, $300 by, you know, start of December, Middle Gear Screwjob, we will ultimately do it as part of that incentive. I gotta cut off the incentive at some point though, so come December, whether we hit it or not, the die is cast or whatever. At that point, we're on to other things, basically. Oh, fuck. Anyway, Metal Gear Screwjob will be a feature, will be a stream series I will do in December should we end up meeting that extra life goal in the end. Like, show the extra life bar again. Look at that, the extra life bar. Still the same as it was. Should we get that last 40 bucks and hit the goal? I will do Metal Gear Screwjob, which will basically be a series of me playing through Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. 3 games I haven't played before, but I have watched Let's Plays of. Playing through them in random order. At the start of every stream, I'll spin a wheel, and whatever game I land on, that's the one I'll play. I've had this idea for a while, and I've, had it as an option, as an incentive, and it's never been met before. And, so far, it still hasn't been met. If we don't meet it today, if we don't meet it this month, I'm sure it'll come back eventually. An idea that good, I think. It's sort of... I want to do it at some point, basically. But, we'll see when that is. I would love it to be in December. That's a great time for it, especially since I have a lot of time off. And a lot of time to, do extra streams. And I probably want to do probably a couple of them, right? I'd want to do at least one a week of Metal Gear Screwjob. Maybe even more. And I can only do that really if it's holiday. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit much to fit in with other things I want to do. And like the Mario Maker streaming. Here we are again. The last try before, the last tries before 5 last tries. Okay, we actually got it this time. Yay. You didn't think that would be hard? Well, sometimes... sometimes you don't... things you don't expect to be hard for people are hard for people, right? You say like, oh, I got that jump every time, and just never thought about it. Whereas you might see like, oh, most people have trouble with this jump. I'll say it is a weird thing in level design to realize like, oh, everyone plays the game a little bit differently, and it turns out the way I play is not the way everyone plays. And what's simple for me turns out might be weirdly hard for other people. That's why you always want to give your level to someone to play in front of you and look at it and go like, oh, huh. Look at that. We did it right before we had to pull up the 5 last tries. Thank you for the level. That platform was just unduly hard for me. I'd be curious about that. You could check your the thing that you do where you see where people die. Look at that and see like, is there like a bunch of deaths under that spot? I'd bet you anything that it wasn't just me dying there. I bet most of your deaths. I'll bet I'll bet you anything. I'm not gonna bet you anything. I'm not gonna literally put anything on the line. But I would bet you anything if I were a betting man that you look under that spot, you will find like a sea of X's. You will find like X, 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 X all over that spot because that's your main pain point as far as like a difficult thing in the level. Thank you for the level. Folks. Let me put in complete, and you can put in another level. Folks, do you know what it is time for? It is time for the lightning round. During the lightning round, I only have 5 tries to beat each level that comes to me. 5 tries, refreshing at checkpoints, 7 for subs, and also for the first person up, who is tonight. Let me see. First person up is Seagull. That's right. Seagull, you get some bonus heads. Check out these bonus heads. They can be many things, from Bowser to Luigi. There's some non-Mario ones in there as well, but they are a good deal less frequent and less easy to land on. Let me see if I can land on one. They're basically, for every Mario head, there's 5 copies, and for every non-Mario head, there's only 1 copy, so you'll see flashing by a bunch of Diddy Kong and Dixie. There's one of the sets. There's some Mega Man in there. There's some Sonic and Shadow and Eggman. There's a whole bunch. Let me pull up the boxes, which makes shuffling fair and invisible. I'll close my eyes for a second. 1, 2, and 3. Got Toadette. Very nice. Let's go ahead and get this level going. W5G. I'm not gonna respond to that, but the bonus heads thing, it makes sense. I don't think there's anything weird about that. Nothing weird about bonus heads. They're quite normal and regular, and they make perfect sense in context. Expedition 2, collect all 10 50 coins in a somewhat open world. It has an 8% clear rate. That's pretty high. I think we'll be able to do it in 7. Easy. This looks pretty straightforward. A couple enemies here that are... Oh, there's the first one. Don't jump into the pit, I can tell you that. That's a bad idea. Oh, well, I can fly into the pit now. It says to go left, and I'll believe it. Wasn't too fitting. That pun wasn't too fitting. You mean like a hat? I'm sorry, I'm always looking for the puns. Can I, like, bop him with this balloon? No. It'd be funny if there was a boss fight you could do as a thing. Wait, does this guy have a key, or... Yes, okay. I was wondering if it could be like the red coins that get you through there, but nah, it's just one of the things you have to do. Okay, let's slowly work through. Maybe the red coins are optional. You know, in this level, it's possible to miss a red coin here or there. Oh, I did get him, though. Nope, not optional. I hope there wasn't a coin below the area. That'd be a good place to put one. Like right before you became Fire Mario. It's a very nice, relaxing exploration level. You found us a good one, Seagull. Ooh, look, some fun bouncing. Oh, that's fun. The thing I like about traditional levels is a little bit of decision making, you know? This is something that I think it's very easy for me to appreciate, right? Where like every time you play a traditional level, you're making little decisions all over the place. Like, oh, do I go under or do I go over? Yes, you go under and you get the coin, and then you come back out. Maybe traditional is too broad a brush for this. You know, this is more like an exploration level. That's probably more accurate to what genre it is. That's sort of a thing with like traditional levels, right? Like, it is such a broad brush to paint with, like, oh, you know, what kind of level is it? It's a traditional level. Yeah, but there's like so many kinds of traditional levels though. And it sometimes feels like all levels get flattened into that traditional label, even if they're like exploration or like a challenge level or, you know, something else weird like a shooter or a boss level. It's very easy to lump everything under with traditional, even though like there's lots of different kinds of traditional levels. There's auto-scrollers, there's like platform levels, there's like I don't know if you call it a particular thing, but like out and back levels, which is out and back, I think is like a genre of roller coaster that basically goes like, well, pretty straightforwardly out and back. So like Judge Roy Scream at Six Flags Over Texas, for instance, is an out and back coaster. It just goes out and then it comes back, and that's all there is to it. Nothing complicated, just some hills going one way and then some hills going the other way. And you could say like an out and back level in this would be like, oh, you go get a key and then you come back, or you go get a hit an on-off switch and then you come on back, or in some cases you do both. You get a key, you hit an on-off, and then you do the return trip. What is that effect? Probably a sound effect. A lot of sound effects do like weird distortion-y stuff. I couldn't tell you which one. Thank you for the level, Almost Seagull. I appreciate it. Let's go, let's go. GG indeed. Go ahead and hit complete. Go ahead and hit next. Yeetus Hawk. Yeetus Hawk. Go ahead and confirm. Yeetus says GG. Confirmed. I'm gonna pull the heads down. Again, bonus heads are available to subscribers. So, you want to drop a sub, you get bonus heads. And they come in a wide variety of characters. That's pretty nice. I'm really happy to have that randomization thing going. Originally didn't have that, just had 3 that I would manually switch before, and you could even request ahead in that time. But it's faster to just randomly choose one, and also people weren't so interested in like manually choosing anyhow. Just a random is more, I think, more to the preferences of the folks. Anyway. All right, find the right error, Xmas. Oh, it's one of those find the difference levels. Nice. Let me do, we'll do a card after this. I don't have that many cards anyhow. I'm sure we can get through the rest of them in the next poorly end here. Okay, let's see this one. That's pretty obvious. It's missing 2 of the missing 2 of the water pillars. Would you call those water pillars? I would call those water pillars. Like they kind of look like waterfalls. And the thing up there telling you what the difference was. Yep. Okay, let's see. Give me 2 shakes of a tail. Oh, these are P blocks. These are P blocks, not question mark blocks here. That's this one. It'd be cool if I could hit the right stick and cause like a hand to show up, like in like SNES Online or something. That's always super handy when you do that during multiplayer. Do y'all ever do multiplayer? SNES Online, NES or N64 Online? I will say one thing about that is that it doesn't work. This one's melting. This icicle has a melty icicle in the middle. It doesn't work if you're using the actual controllers, which is kind of a shame because using an actual N64 controller, I feel like is the only way to go. But yeah. Let's see, what's the deal here? Left, left, left. Up, 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 right. This one is different. It'd be handy, I'll say. I suppose I should also sometimes keep an eye on the thing. By the way, during the lightning round, checkpoints refresh our doodads. Those guys meet up at the corner. Meet up at the corner. I don't think the movement of the guys is wrong. It looks like they're kind of synced up. I mean, I can pause and just, like, directly compare them, and yeah, it looks like they're all in the same part of their location of their cycle at the same times. See there? Yep, so no difference between the spike tops. So what is the difference? The vines all look the same, the background elements all look the same, the spike is the same. Oh, vine next to the muncher. There's a vine next to two of the munchers, but not this one. There we go. That's right. That was the thing. Ooh. Okay, what's the deal here? Okay, so two non-melty, non-melty, melty, non-melty, melty, non-melty. Melty, non-melty. Okay, well, actually, it goes back and forth. I think the icicle pattern is the same in all of them. The rails are the same in each. I think the rails are all the same. Wait a minute. This one, the rails don't have any ends. The rails at the top, right under the icicles and where the piranha plant ends up, doesn't have any top. There we go. Okay, next. Let's see, fire. These guys are, these footsie guys are in different spots, but that's just because one of them is jumping one way and one of them is, the two other ones are jumping the other way. Left versus right, that's not it. The turtles look the same to me. Turtles all look the same. There's blocks. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The yellows are going like diagonally like up and to the right, and the ones on the left, and it's going the other way on the right one, so right. There we go. Got it. Okay, next up. Well, the mushrooms are out of sync, but they're all out of sync with each other in different ways, so that's not material. That's not it. The rails. It's the one on the left. The rail on the right in the middle has an end where the other ones do not. Yeah, it's to spot the difference. Okay, let's see. Coin behind the fire flower, coin behind the spring. Wait a minute, is this guy... That'd be a really good, like, subtle difference if this guy was... If one of them was, like, facing the other way. One of these, you know, guys. But the difference is actually there's a donut block behind this guy's head on the far right one. That'd be good if y'all making another one of these. That'd be a good difference, like having to differentiate between like just subtle enemy behavior that you can't visually see unless you walk by them. Thank you, Seagull, for the level. Okay, let's see what we got here. The coins all go in the same direction. Ah, there's a coin in the middle of the right two mushroom circles, and there's mushroom squares, I should say. And there's no coin in the center of the middle, the one on the left. So you'll see us attain victory here. You'll see us attain victory here. Whereas the other ones would surely end in nothing but death. By Aegis Cook on Reddit. Thank you, Seagull. All right. Go ahead and hit complete for you, Aegis Hawk. Hit complete. And I will hit next. Fox Erp. Fox Erp, if you are here, let me go ahead and at Fox Erp. You are up. Let me know if you're here, Fox Erp, because you are up. Hello, Schlump. Hello, Schlump. How you doing? Fox Erp, go ahead and confirm. If you're not here, I'll still play the level, but I'll do so in sudden death. Meantime, why don't I bring up another thing? Mastodon seems like shit too, huh? Thought I had another one before that, but whatever. Mastodon, newest one of the social networks that people have been like moving to. Everything I hear about Mastodon sounds like shit to me, right? Like, sounds like... The thing about Mastodon that's weird is it's all super decentralized. So, like, joining... So you can't just join Mastodon. You have to join, like, a specific instance. And it sounds like... Well, first off, the moderators of that instance, you have to trust them. And also those moderators of that instance can shut out, like, other instances individually. So, like, for instance, if you are on an American Mastodon, and, well, it turns out, like, most of the Japanese Mastodons are just off-limits. So if you like Japanese artists, or, like, following, like, that scene, you just won't be able to follow any of that. And that's just weird. That's just weird. It does mean that you can just block out, like, all the conservative Mastodons, I suppose, which is a plus, but I don't know if it's really worth, like, the fragmentation of the thing. I think most people are going to look at that and go, like, what the fuck? And not bother. And indeed, I am here looking at it and going, like, what the fuck? And I am not bothering. So, yeah, Mastodon. That's not going to be it. I'm also pretty skeptical about Hive for, like, a couple of really small reasons. But, you know, hey, I'm sure... To me, the thing about Hive is it's just like a faux Twitter without Elon Musk to me. Also, you can make the post too long. I don't like that. I like a limit on tweets. I feel like if you're making a Twitter type thing, one of the things you should import short tweets. Short updates. That's good. That means you can read through 100 of them in, like, not too long. And it's not too cumbersome, and it's very good. Here's a maker code from FoxErp. If FoxErp is not here, we will do the level, but in sudden death, as we do. FoxErp, feel free to speak out at any time, and I'll convert you back to the regular lightning round. But maybe your levels aren't that hard. Let's see, what do we want to do? I'd honestly be tempted by what the fuck Castle Kaizo is. It kind of looks more like Kaizo Light with the difficulty. You know, 3% isn't that bad. 3.5. That's not that bad, especially for Kaizo. It must be more of the Kaizo Light. What should we do? What should we do? Well, this one is an automatic. Keep running or do nothing. Let's try this one out. It sounds pretty easy to get through in 2 tries, so let's do it. I'm gonna hold run. And if this is fast, maybe. I'm gonna hold run. My solution. This. Indeed, it seems like it is automatic. Is it working out? Timing. Yeah. Yeah. It's an automatic run. Tell you what, let's see the alternate. Let's see the alternate. I'm sort of curious. I'm sort of curious to see, like, what it looks like. I'm sort of curious what it looks like if you do nothing. I'm gonna put the controller down. So yeah, if you do nothing, hold another level. Hold another auto level sort of happens. But, you know, sort of like in the same space, more or less. Well, I do think it's a little bit... That's a little bit disingenuous because it does take place mostly in different chunks of the level. Like, the auto run part takes place mostly in the underground, and the automatic takes place mostly in the overground. I think it's a really neat idea, but I do think that it would be cooler if both sides were, like, connecting to each other, right? Or they like, ran parallel to each other rather than one sort of being, like, in a completely different area. What are you gonna do, though? You know, hey, that's just how it is. Let me see what the comment is on here. Anyway, thank you for the level, Foxarp. I think that was neat. That was a neat idea. I'm gonna hit complete, even though it's a maker code, so it doesn't really make a difference. And I'm gonna get next. Bowser, are you still here? Go ahead and confirm. I'm gonna pull up another card while you do so. Did y'all see there's a Tony Kawa special up on Crunchyroll? I saw this right before, like an hour ago, and I remembered, oh yeah, right, there was a special that was hitting, and now it's up on Crunchyroll, and I'm looking forward to watching it because I really loved, maybe love is a strong word. Not sure if I loved it. I loved Konikawa. That was a very, very, very good show. About it's kind of a weird one, really. Guy meets a girl, falls in love, and she appears and says, like, hey, we gotta get married, like, right away. And he's like, fucking, okay, whatever. And it's kind of a cute, like, newlyweds anime, which is a weird thing for anime to cover. Usually you don't see, like, newlyweds. You see, like, just people dating. And, you know, if they get to dating, that's usually a big step. That's usually a big step, but let alone married, that's a huge thing. And it's been kind of fun to watch. It was a fun watch, watching these two get to know each other and, you know, move in with each other and just sort of suddenly be newlyweds. Apparently this is some sort of special about the girl, the wife, maybe getting some sort of uniform for something, like school? I don't know. I think it's like a school uniform or something. But I didn't know she was still in school. Thought they were... I think she's... spoilers. Light spoilers, but... there's some hints that she has some sort of weird supernatural paths. Like she literally might be some timeless being that's been around for centuries or something. There are some times where she's like, oh yeah, you know, that's how they used to do it. And I only know the way they used to do it. And you ask, why does she only know the way they did it 200 years ago? That's weird. Huh, I'll think nothing of it though. Or why is she super strong if she needs to, like save someone's life, but she only did it once, ever? Is that a thing? Is that important? Or is that just, you know, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of, like, weirdness to the setup? I don't know, but hey, season 2 is coming. Maybe we'll get some answers, or maybe it'll just be like, no, man, that's not important. Maybe that's the part of the idea, right? Like, it's not important. They're newlyweds. You know, she has her secrets and history, but that's not terribly important. That's not that important. Unless, you know, maybe that's the thing, right? You gotta find out about your spouse's past over time, and eventually she'll tell you about it. I don't know. Lord Bowser, are you here? Let me at Lord Bowser. Maybe that would help. Just you are up. Lord Bowser is up. If Lord Bowser's not here, and we will do it in sudden death, as we do. And Lord Bowser's levels, they tend to be pretty traditional, so not sure if we'll... I'm sure we'll be able to get through, but let's go, let's do it. I'm gonna get going on this, Lord Bowser. I'm gonna put you into sudden death. If you do appear, I will convert you into the regular lightning round. You know how it is. Anyway, looking forward to that, to watching that. You know, after the stream, I'm sure I'll watch, you know, Chainsaw Man. I'll watch some Chainsaw Man. I'll watch Encouragement of Climb, and then I'll watch Tony Kawa special. With Tony Kawa special, it's just a special, just a one-off. I think that season 2 is like coming sometime next year, I guess. Which is exciting and good. But this is just a special, so, you know, you have to give it... If you're like me and you maintain an anime list and you like to keep track of each anime... Hey, there you are, Lord Bowser. I'll upgrade you right now. There you go. If you like to keep track of...
Oh no!
If you like to keep track of every anime you watch, with a special, you gotta watch it, and then you gotta lay in a review. Like, that's just, you know, kind of a whole deal. There's just kind of a whole piece of work I make for myself. Trying to, you know, be comprehensive about shit. I honestly sometimes don't know why I like to make myself put up a nice review for every anime I watch and every game I play eventually. I guess it's, you know, I like it as a posterity thing, but it's maybe not posterity is the wrong word. It's more for fun, I guess. I might have played this at some point, Bowser. Some of the parts are familiar. Or maybe just I'm thinking of other levels, like going up and having to deal with spikes that are like breaking the tower as you go up. Maybe. Not sure. Your reason to cut this from the world is that the wind doesn't work well with the vertical deserts theme. You shouldn't have used desert wind in the first place. Gotcha. So you were unhappy with the wind and like how much it like screws with you. Hello, Place O. How you doing? What's up, Place O? I see you in chat saying, well. Is that like, well? As in, like, well? Or are you just saying, well? What's the... Give me a tone there. What is the tone of that well? You put LB in levels a lot, Lord Bowser. Oh! Oh, well. I interpreted a link as a name. Place O. That is a link. That's not a person. Oh.
Mario time!
I'm talking to a link. Yeah, I am. Yeah, you're prepping dinner? That's nice. I'm gonna make some dinner myself later. I got some tuna casserole ingredients, and I figured I'd make a tuna casserole. And I was looking for something to put into the tuna casserole, and we looked online and found like, oh, you know what? I've never put onions in a tuna casserole. That looks like a thing people put into tuna casserole. Sure, whatever. You know, onions, always good in whatever you want, right? Always good in any piece of cooking. So I figure it'll turn out well. I'd be curious if anyone else has any ideas for like what else could go into like a nice tuna casserole. Like if I had to say like what I would like to add in, I would say something that gives it a nice texture, a nice crunch, I think would be good. What would be good on that front? Obviously, breadcrumbs are like the standard for that. But I feel like breadcrumbs, they sort of like, I don't want to say dissolve in when you're cooking them, but they sort of get a lot less pronounced once it's done. What would give what would give a tuna casserole a nice crunch? Would y'all say? Y'all have any ideas there? Any insights? I understand if no one else, or if no one's like a culinary wizard here. A tunic? Tunic is a piece of clothes. Tuna casserole. I'm not gonna put Tunic, the video game from this year, very popular game on Game Pass. I'm not gonna put that in there. No, I don't think it'll go good. Seagull is up next. Before we do Seagull's level, why don't I show you one of mine? I like to play one of my own levels now and again. Tell you what, let me do another card. I've been playing more God of War Ragnarok. I'll do that, and I'll talk about that, and I'll play through. What's a good level that goes with God of War Ragnarok? I guess Bon Bon Boonies. Bon Bon Boonies is also set in the snow, or like in a winter. Yeah, it's set on top of a mountain, actually. Not really a winter, but still. This level, by the way, is inspired by Clapper's Cavern. That's, well, some parts of it later on are, anyway. You'll see. It'll make sense. Played a little more God of War today, before going out to the grocery store and getting some groceries. Yeah, it's getting to some really good parts in that game. But also, man, to me, the pacing really suffers. Even when things are getting good, or like, oh, we're heading out to meet some interesting folks, some interesting characters. There's like so much in the way of busy work, and like, oh, let's run there, and oh no, there's like a bunch of bad guys that are attacking. And let's run here instead. Okay, now some more enemies are attacking. And it's just like, guys, this is a cool thing we're building too. But do I really need like a half hour of fights before I get to the big thing? Like, just feels like padding. And in some places, it's literally padding. I think the worst case is like in an area in like the middle of the game. The middle of the game, I'm not going to say much in the way of specifics. I'll say this. There was an area where you're most of the way through, and the characters go like, okay, it's time to head back. Time to go do something else now. By the way, this is the Clapper's Cavern bits. You see these sections? If the key blocks run out, you take damage, just like in Clapper's Cavern. There are these sections where, like, the characters, they say... like, oh, it's time to head back. Let's go ahead and, like, go home. They say that. And then they say, but first, let's go into a hole in the ground, a literal cave, a random cave, and just, you know, kill some mole rats or something. And there's this whole, like, 10-20 minute sequence where you run through a cave and you kill rats. And it's just like, what is this doing in God of War? I'm here to kill gods, not rats. Why am I an exterminator in this game? Like, this is just weird. Who told them to put in a part where you go kill rats into this section that's already too long? And then after that, there's a whole nother section which is actually kind of cool. There's a section that's actually kind of cool, but the fact that it comes after like at the end of a section that's already 2 hours too long is just like really galling. And I feel like that game just fails repeatedly at this. Just adds like extra fights and extra like brain dead puzzles and like so much. I'm running into cool stuff. I'm getting some cool plot points. A bunch of cool stuff is happening. I'm gonna play one more of these, by the way. I'll show you Frosted Forest. Cool things are happening, but jeez. Tell you what, also, I think we're reaching the tail end of this stream. Let's see, Bowser's level is 3 in. Actually, 4 in. How many levels do you got, Bowser? Scrap level number 3. After Bowser's next level, we will close the queue. So that is a good, like... Honestly, that's a good, like, 4 levels away, so... We got time left if you want to get levels in, but... Time will come. This is Frosted Forest, by the way. A level built around, like, climbing on these vines and going from side to side. I think it's pretty nice. Kind of a nice, like, sideways climbing level. Kind of level I always wanted to make with these vines. And, you know, sure enough, made it, and it was really cool. You also got the Spike Hat and also some falling platform stuff. Or, like, you're running along falling platforms and dealing with stuff. A little bit of inspiration here was from, like, Mario World, obviously, like, the levels where you're climbing around on like, chains, It always surprises me in Mario World that that's just, like, a very small part of one level. The other inspiration is something like Chain Link Chamber, DKC2. Also, you got this falling sequence, which, you know, at this point in the level, you might not have realized this subworld is vertical, because I hid that from the player up until this point. And now you got a little bit of vertical climbing sequence, where you're, like, avoiding these spike tops. I really need to use spike tops in a level where they're actually doing their default behavior and not hanging out on rails. That would probably be a good idea for, like, one of the upcoming levels. Spike tops, but used normally rather than weirdly. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of my shit. All right, let's do the next level. I like to sort of slip in some of my own levels here and here, you know, just as, you know, if I'm getting a lot from a couple of people, I feel like it's only fair to you know, slow it down a bit, I guess. Whereas if I'm getting a bunch from a lot of people, obviously have to, you know, keep on moving to get to more people, but, you know, I like to intersperse the levels of like, repeat submitters, you know? Just as a little thing. And also, yes, my levels are great. I know, yes, I agree. And the folks do too, you know, I have a lot of likes. I recommend you all play my levels, and, you know, leave likes. I always appreciate that. Whenever I see new likes, I'm like, ooh, new likes. And whenever I see comments, I go and look at them. I'm sure everyone else is the same, huh? Ow, ow. Kinda neat. You know, I think I can see... Oh, this is Seagull's level. Right. I was about to say... I thought it was Bowser's level for, like, a hot second. That's much later, though. I was about to say, I think I know why it wasn't included, but that's not. This is a different one. We're already 2 lives down, but, you know, hey, we get a checkpoint. We'll be back up at full before you know it. Oh, you really gotta, like, do a double bounce, huh? 3rd life. You know what I'm not a big fan of? I'm not a big fan of having no music. I like music in my levels. I like music in levels just because, you know, it sort of gives you something to listen to as you play the level, which I think is handy for, you know, me doing streams and stuff. You always want to have some background sounds to, like, there we go. Checkpoint refreshes our doodads. You always want some background sounds, and unfortunately this doesn't have that, but... Ooh. That's a fun challenge, though. That there is a fun challenge. I like... This shit is cool. I'll say. Extremely, extremely cool. Though, also... a little dangerous, you know, because every time you mess up, you're falling into the goddamn lava, you're dead. I guess maybe you're supposed to, like, listen to, like, an audio cue. Maybe that's why there's no sound, so you can hear them going like, arr, 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 arr. You do look good jumping through this level. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. And also with God of War. Also with God of War. I do think, what do I think? I do think even when things are starting to get interesting in, like, one side of the story, it will then switch to the other side of the story, just when things are getting good. And you're like, oh, actually, I kind of wanted to stay on the other side. Is it a spoiler to say that there's two sides to that game? There's multiple plot lines going on. I'm not going to go into any specifics, but I think that, like, bouncing back and forth in that fashion does mean that once something starts getting interesting, you're torn away from it, which I think can be quite unfortunate, you know? Like, you kind of want to stay focused and just go down one story thread, but it just doesn't have that for you. That was the last try. Dang. Well, save that for another time, perhaps, Seagull. Or, you know, you can resubmit it. You know how it is. I bet you we could do that, we could do that outside the lightning round. I bet that it would be perfect for such an occasion. Next level up is Sklumph. 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 Could you go ahead and confirm, please? Sklumph. I don't got any more cards left, so I'm not gonna pull any more. Though I will say again, what I'll say again while we're pulling up this next level is that we did do pretty good in Extra Life, but not, you know, not perfectly. We didn't quite meet the goal. I'll say again, we hit the goal by the end of this, the end of November. I will still do the Metal Gear Screwjob stream series I talked about before. So yeah. By the way, I made this by, like, combining 3 bars into a new thing. That's not a bar, but more of a box, Extra Life box. Hope it helps to see, like, how good we did. We did pretty good, I'll say. I'll say we did pretty good. For a first time, I didn't know exactly how much to expect. And, you know, a lot of people showed up, and they gave a fucking good deal of money per person. And I appreciate the hell out of that. You know, people supported, and they supported in large amounts. Sklump, could you please confirm? By the way, I've said before, I said last time, but let me pull up this Thanksgiving schedule. We have a special schedule this week of because of the holidays. I'm not going to be here Thursday or Friday, but Wednesday I am going to do a stream, and I was thinking viewer levels like tonight, but also I was thinking. I'll tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking we could do. I'll tell you honestly what I was thinking. I see your levels in the thread, and you're browsing. Good to see you're also in there. Yeah, I submit my levels to that place as well pretty frequently when they're new, and tend to get good feedback. I try to rate them up, and I suppose, Siegel, you should screen cap the levels that I played, and I'll try to leave comments on those posts on Reddit, and hopefully get a playback out of that. You go take screenshots or link me to the levels you played later on Discord or whatever. Link me to those levels, and I would like to leave a comment, and I'll probably get a playback maybe from leaving my code. That's sort of how it is over on Reddit. If you play someone's level, you leave a code, and maybe they'll play it back, and that's a good way to get some people on your levels. Let's see. You mean links to comments? Yeah, give me the links. Give me the links if you can. That would be much appreciated. And I'll check in the thing. Yeah, that's much obliged, man. That's rad. That's gonna get me some plays and hopefully some likes and probably some nice feedback on my levels, saying like, oh, they're very good, and I'll say thank you. All right. Yeah. So I'll be back. I'll be back Wednesday, and let me tell you what I was thinking. Maybe we could do. I was kind of thinking, since we didn't reach the sub goal or the extra life goal, maybe we could do Wednesday as like a extra life encore. I'm not sure. I know there are some people who do like multiple extra life streams who do like, oh yeah, 6 hours today, 6 hours tomorrow, and I don't really see myself as that sort of person. But we didn't meet the goal. So should we have another sesh, or maybe we'll meet the goal eventually, just by me saying like, hey, it'd be cool if we did on occasion. Anyway, I was thinking during that maybe I was thinking maybe I would go through like the single player, like Mario Maker 2's single player, which I haven't done in years. And I think I remember being full of really solid levels. And I think it would be interesting 2 years later to go through the single player and remark upon like, oh yeah, that's an idea you haven't seen in ages.
Oh no!
Oh, this is sudden death. This is sudden death, very nearly, but not quite sudden death. And it's over. Thank you for the level, Schlump. Unfortunately, we couldn't get through it. Such as sudden death. If you want us to have more tries, the best way is to be here when your level comes up. That's how it works. Thank you. Let's go ahead and see the next one. The big stream is over, but maybe if I just said like, hey, do it. Ratchet Toad is here, fantastic. Maybe if I just said like extra life, the link is occasionally in chat. Maybe we'll just meet the goal naturally. I would like to meet the goal. There's something in me that's just going like, it's killing me that we didn't. Like, I would love to just be able to say like, yes, we had a successful extra life. We hit our goal. Ha 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 ha. But and I know it's weird, right? Like, well, we didn't reach the goal, but we did raise a bunch of money. We did have a very good stream. We very much enjoyed the randomizer roulette. That part worked out very well. There were technical issues out the wazoo, but it was a fun stream. And came in just under the wire of my estimates, which is about as good as I could hope for. And yet that number, that 40 bucks is like making me go like, oh dang. Oh dang. Maybe I should have went with, and part of me is thinking like, you know, I went with 300. I could have gone with 250, and then we would have reached it. Which is, you know, neither here nor there, right? Like, that would be a really nice round number to have went for, right? Can I turn comments off? Absolutely, I will. I will turn those comments on. Our deli meats are banging good or something, is what that said. I don't want to get hung up. I don't want to get hung up on a silly, not a silly, on just like a goal, right? But yet, I am a little bit. It was a great stream, and we raised a bunch of money. Is that not enough, I guess? Maybe I went a little high on the estimate. Not on the estimate, on the goal. Okay, we're driving off to work. Beep, beep, beep. We're in a car behind a Koopa. That's very nice. Okay, that's good. If these were like spaced too close together, they could totally crush you as you were going up or down. I think this is set up where that won't happen. Will it? Will it? It will happen if you do that. I'll just not do that then. Let's go get our car keys. Alright, we got our car key. Our car keys. Plural. And by the way, if anyone... I'll tell you, if anyone does donate to that extra life, tell me in chat and I'll have a look at it and I'll say nice things about you. I am also like debating in my head like, should I offer to do more Bean Boozles? Should I offer to do more Bean Boozles if we reach our goal? I really hated them, but I can't deny they're for a good cause. I want to say the Bean Boozled thing is over, but no, if it's for a good cause, might have to, you know, what was that say? It said owned by the Graves family. Also, was that a checkpoint? They live in the shop above the apartment. That refreshes our tries, by the way. Meet the key block door. A mushroom, that's nice. Anyway, that's sort of some things about the randomizer roulette, but hey, you know. Maybe I could do a different incentive for if we hit our goal. I mean, I do have a different incentive. It's called Metal Gear Screwjob, but maybe a different one? I don't know. Hard to say. Seagull getting in another level. Thank you. The cashier is running late. Running late, are we? You're fired, says someone who isn't you. That's always a fun thing you can do in someone's story level. Just insert your own dialogue for fun. Just run up and do a quick comment. I like this, a little bit of jump on offery. That's a neat thing whenever a level has that or is built around that. You are limited to very specific, like, themes if you want to use that, but I do think it is pretty much pretty worth it. Whoops. I didn't do anything of the such in my super world. Didn't end up doing that. I thought about it. I mean, I guess I thought about it at some point, but I did have an idea for like a 3D world version of that, but it didn't end up panning out. Basically, in that rendition, every time you jumped, these spring platforms would turn on, and would turn on. What are we looking at here? Ah! Alright, we hit an on-off. No, that can't be it. That can't be right. I think that's wrong. I think we have to do something else with the... We have to go through the pipe, don't we? Hit the pipe, go through it. Right, yes, go through the door over here. Beautiful. We got through. I don't know what that key door in the underground was for, but it was for something. Thank you for the level, Ratchet Toad. Let's go ahead and hit complete. And what I was thinking for tomorrow is play the single player, which I don't know how long will take. Like going through after like, and I'll say like I already have the single player cleared, so I would just be going level to level to level to level, not doing any of the sides, not doing any of like wandering around or like exploring or anything. Just going level to level and just playing it. Yeah, I'll see about the late replies thing. In some cases, like, yeah, I do think that after a certain point, a thread, like in an older thread, right? You do like get to the point where a reply is not you're not obligated to play back if someone replies to a thread from like a month ago. I think like the newer ones, those are the ones you're obligated to play back on. If someone's rooting around in old threads, it's a little different. That's true. That's true. Yes. Give me the links anyway, and if it is like relatively old, you know, that's just gotta be how it is. You know, you don't always get, and I don't mind that. That's part of the the way. That's how it is. Oh, and yes, thank you. I'll have a look at that later. Maybe I'll get some playbacks and stuff. It is how it be. Yes, and I'll say, like, you know, for my part, yes, I once a level is in a thread that is not the current thread, I do consider like, oh yeah, okay, that level I don't have to worry about playbacks. No one's gonna come and comment on it, and I am no longer really offering that. And if someone does come like a month later and go like, hey, I played it, here's my code, I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing to do. You know, haven't posted, I haven't shared levels in a month. That means I haven't been really offering to play back in a month, but whatever. Typically, if that happens, I'm like, okay, whatever, that's kind of against the spirit of things, but what are you gonna do? Lord Bowser, you're up again after this Lord Bowser level, and after Lord Bowser, like, re-enters another level, I believe we will be closing the queue down. So, get in your levels now. Get in your levels. The aim of this will be to finish this level and the last level that Bowser has that was a reject for his super world. Alright, Lord Bowser 3-1, Cheep Cheep Bay. We got 5 tries, let's go. Late replies are fair game to you, Seagull? That's fair. That's fair, you know. I'll say a late reply that's just like, hey, I like the level, it's great. That's fair game, and that's cool. The late reply of like, hey, I like the level, here's my level, that's a little bit more questionable. And to be fair, like, not everyone says, like, oh, I will play back. But some people who don't say that will if you leave a code. They will absolutely do so. It's etiquette. Personally, I always say I will play a level back if you leave one. Though, you know, I'm not saying that of y'all. You know, like, please continue to send me levels here. That's probably, like, the best way to do so. But, you know, hey, if you want me to play a level off stream, you know, go for it, man. Or if you just want to be nice and and play my level and leave a comment, maybe that would inspire other people to do the same. This level was auto-scrolled all the way through. Yeah, so this is just a nice little platform level. Nothing too fancy. I guess like cutting a auto-scroller is just kind of an obvious choice, isn't it? I only got one real auto-scroller in my super world, and it turned out really nice because it was a more fast-paced auto-scroller, and I think that's fun. I still need to make a platform level. One platform level. I have plans for Sunburn Sanctuary, which is also a Link level, to also be a platform ride, which I think makes sense with Link because he has bows and arrows, he has bombs, he has things to do on a platform to defend it, basically. The reason you cut this level is because of Cheep Cheeps, and it was too hard for a 3-1. Huh. I would think, like, the Cheep Cheeps wouldn't be that much of a problem, but let's see the clear rate. The clear rate is 19%? Maybe my 3-1 is probably a little harder than yours. I feel like 3-1, you're allowed to start getting harder. I think the combination of Cheep Cheeps and, like, the moving platform does allow you to make them more difficult, does make them, like, more of a challenge, whereas in some levels, you can just literally run to the right and Cheep Cheeps will never be a problem. Just so long as they're not in the way, you know? I'm gonna hit complete. And I will say, it is time for the last call. Last call to get your levels in. I know Seagull's level is in there, and anyone else who wants to get one in right now, now is the time. Go ahead and resubmit the last level, Lord Bowser, that was cut, and we'll see that. Let me go into my courses, and we'll see a level from my Super World. What level should it be? And like I said earlier, by the way, Meteor Meltdown re-uploaded a second time. Very, very small changes since the first upload. It's still really good, I think. I think it's really nice, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Please check it out, and, you know, and play it. Check it out and play it. Kind of redundant. I was just talking about an auto-scroller level. Why don't I play my auto-scroller from a few months ago, which, honestly, everyone here might remember, and give you all time to get in the levels, including Lord Bowser. You're gonna get in that last level. I really need to. There's like a slight change I need to make on this level. I don't usually make revisions after the fact, but I think for the last, when I finish my Super World, I will do a round of revisions for a couple levels that need it. And I will say goodbye to all the likes that have been accumulated on the belief that I will get more, especially once my Super World is 100% complete. I'll make a really nice trailer that sort of like highlights all the nice and clever design in the Super World, and people will see it and go like, oh, you know, Mario Country, Waluigi's Triple Threat. That's the next. These bomb towers I thought were pretty cool. Pretty funny of an enemy that just like kills its, just blows up on its own, given enough time. Also, this subworld is pretty nice and dangerous, sort of an upside down, full speed auto scroller. Thought that was fun. For this level, I looked a lot to like the minecart levels and tried to create gameplay that was relatively simple, yet thrilling and challenging when played when there's no time to think. That's sort of the, the basic appeal of a minecart level. And that's what I went for in my auto-scroller. Just some real nice flash. A sub-side-down level? Yeah, sure, you could say that. An upside-down level. And a subworld. I'm really proud of this level. This level might be up there as far as, like, triumphs go, right? Like, a good idea with a lot of devilish little details. It just turned out really well. And I think it brings something to the super world that it didn't have before. I mean, literally, it didn't have any auto-scrolling. Now it does. And I've never done, I don't think, an auto-scroller quite like this, which is just a proper auto-scroller. It was just like a proper auto-scroller and wasn't weird in a way. And I think it turned out real fucking well. This world has a lot of weird ones, including that. It also has like a ghost house. It has some rising and falling tide stuff. Bowser, are you not getting in the last level? I gave you plenty of time. Lord Bowser, are you still around, or thought Bowser would be getting in the last level? Let's see if you'll real fast. Lord Bowser, you want to get in that level? Now is the time. Why don't I do one more of these and then we'll close the queue? Lord Bowser. You're not in queue currently, so, that'd be a good time. Let's show off, something pre-Super World. Let's see. What's a good one? There you go. Oh, Bowser's still having trouble with it. I'm sure you'll get it. You know what? I don't think we've seen Overcast Blast in a while. Overcast Blast. There you go, Lord Bowser. Thank you very much. After this level, we will close the queue. Oh. Let's get those comments out of the way. This is the level that takes place in the clouds. This is a cloud sky level in the Super Mario World theme. And you see I've sort of done that by setting this half of the level above the skyline. So you sort of see, you're sort of seeing the background from up above, due to that's how 3D World works. Oh geez, you really made that. Anyway, in this level, you're sort of blasting around as a thing. You can go under sometimes. There's even some special thing over here, I think, right? Yes, a hidden one up. Whoops. Whatever. You were eating, Bowser? Gotcha. It is lunchtime. It is lunchtime, to be fair. I already ate myself, so I'm good. And in the subworld, it becomes vertical, and you're going up through, like, storm clouds now. But still a lot of, like, hollow pipe stuff, which I'll admit I don't think I've used in my Super World yet. I probably need to put some hollow pipes in the last of the 3D World levels in the last world, which is to say the last level of the Super World, Playtime Palace. Really was happy with this level. Sort of the first time I used the Bullet Bill hat to make a traditional level like this. Also had a bunch of, like, you know, Paracoopas, green Paracoopas, running around being annoying, which I thought was fun. And also the bullies. There's a lot of stuff here at play. All works, I think, really well. Beautiful. Oh, let me refresh. Lives. One last rocket thing, bullet bill thing. Get the flag. All right. I think that about covers it. Let's go ahead and get this train on the road. I am now closing the queue. Thank y'all for getting the levels in. The queue is now closed. Go ahead and mark that as such on the thing. Let me go ahead and get the last level from Seagull up. Thank you for giving me all these levels, Seagull. I appreciate it. You know what you could also do, Seagull, as just like a pro tip? You could find like a really good super world that has a lot of comments on it, and then you only have to get one code for the time being. One of the ones that was pretty popular recently that I never finished was that Super Mario Brothers 5? There was like a super world called Super Mario Brothers 5 or something. And like a lot of people wrote stories about it, like Kotaku or Polygon or some shit, or Eurogamer. You could go find that code and just give that to me, and that would be interesting. And then I would just be able to go through that super world one level at a time. That'd be easier to just like do, because you know all you would need is one code, and until I finish that super world, that's it. You know, convenient. Interesting idea. Yeah. And it involves a lot less of you looking for a lot less work and furnishing that. Convenient. Yes, exactly. And also, I don't tend to, you know, pick those out, honestly, myself. I tend to stick to just the thread for full, just for, like, level submissions. Fuck. So I don't necessarily, I've played less of those, is what I'm saying. And, you know. Let's be good. Let's not get hit here. Just very welly. Okay, we got through the hard bits. Now we're a cat. Oh wow, you can't hit that guy. Didn't know that. Didn't know that hitting that guy wouldn't kill him. What is? Oh, you gotta swim. I see what we're doing here. And also you can just cat hang off the side. Fuck. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. This is a good use of Tide. This is a good use of Tide. Also, I'm... There we go. Ooh. Thought I was a little bit fucked there, but I'm not so fucked. Dealing with Tide is an interesting challenge in a level. I've used the Rising and Falling Tide only with Poison. Didn't end up doing like a Rising and Falling Tide level just with water. You know, maybe I should. You know, I have that idea for... The idea for Aquatic Asteroid, as one name was, is like a lava level where you'll have a boat. But what if instead it was the rising and falling water level? Would that be cool? I don't know. Rising and falling level. I kind of like that idea. I mean, to just be blunt, it's a thing that I haven't actually put in a level yet. And honestly, I could also have the dry bones boats, be in there. And the subworld could still be underwater fully if I really wanted. These things are all options. Food for thought. Do not expect the next level to be done anytime in like the next week or so. It's barely out of the brainstorming phase. I mean, and barely, it's still in the brainstorming phase. I haven't even gotten one good idea for it yet. Not one that's solid and I know for sure I want to do. Sometimes levels are in that phase for a while, and I think that this one will be one of those. Basically. $4,000. Points don't matter at all, though, obviously. Does anyone care about points? I always think that's a weird thing in Mario. The whole points thing. I think that the DKC series is well off. Just abandoning the concept altogether. Very nice. Well, I'd say abandoning. They never had it in the first place. You know, DKC 1. Just coming from DKC 1, that never had it, but, you know, DKC 1 is a lot inspired by Mario. And doesn't have a timer and doesn't have points. Two things that you can do without, I think. I was about to do exclamation point Mario. That's not right. Exclamation point complete. By the way, if that guy, whoever made this level, Holland B, if that guy were to ever come by, I would play this level again. Since, you know, I did play it without him necessarily submitting it. Without Holland necessarily submitting it. That would be a fair thing. Alright, I think we're on to our last level of the night. Or night, jeez. Usually I do these streams at night, rather than at lunchtime, or, you know, the hours after lunchtime. I don't know that it's lunchtime anymore. It's like 3 p.m. That's hardly lunchtime. 2 p.m. you can make an argument, still lunchtime. 3 p.m., nah. Which is, you know, hey, perfect timing for the end of the stream. Lord Bowser, go ahead and confirm. And punch in the level. DHC FQG. Explosive mine shaft. Let's see, 30% clear rate. Yay, says Bowser. Fantastic. Now you're gonna have to tell us, as we go through this, why this one was rejected. What was the problem with this one? You know what? It is World 8, and it has a clear rate of 30%. Let me go out on a limb here. The problem is it's too high of a clear rate for World 8. Is that the problem? Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Okay, we do have to, like, do a little bit of fiddly business getting through these walls. Maybe that was the issue. Like, oh, this is too much work. The player might get a little The reason you scrapped the level is this level is the reason I scrapped this level is not a good one. It's too short and easy for a World 8. Yeah, I can see that. Pretty effortless. It has the opposite problem from the cheap level. And I get you got parts like this where you have to like escort up a bomb to a thing to open it up. That's kind of more annoying than fun, right? It was but you could have kept it and made it a bit longer. It was a creative level from Nintendo Pat. Oh, did he like suggest the idea? How'd that work? Yeah, that is really short. You're right. I think you're right on the mark. Difficulty curve is something that's really hard to do in a super world. I feel like, you know, I personally made some some like calibrations for that, you know, and definitely some. Oh, I see. You saw it in one of his levels, the basic idea, and you sort of expanded on that for your own level. You were inspired by it, you would say. Gotcha. Like if you like do a trend of my levels, like starting from 1-1, you know, you see World 1 has a lot of like, it starts out at 30. The second level's like 15, so like a good deal harder. Then everything else is more like 20 or 40. This one's even like 50. This one's a short one though. Then by World 2, 30, 30, 20. Getting a little bit tougher, but still in the 30s and 20s. And by like 2-4 is when it gets really hard for the first time. More like 11. This one is around 44. The level 5s are all short, so it makes sense their clear rates would be higher. They're 22nd levels. 10% for 3-1. That's when you know it's not fucking around so much anymore. 22 for this one. I looked through these a while ago and found that like, oh yeah, there's like a trend here where like each world gets a little bit harder, but in like bursts. 20%. This one is 14. This one is sub 10. I think that might be the first sub 10 one in World 4, which again makes sense. 14%. 11%. 13%. That's a... By World 5, you got like sub 9, or sub 10, sub 10. This one is 40%, but it's a water level, so pretty easy. This one's 11. This one is, wow, 8, yeah, sub 10% again. 11. This one might be the lowest one at like 7.5. So I do think I'm doing a good job as far as difficulty goes, like slowly modifying. This one's easier, but also longer. You can see the world record is 3 minutes. So, you know, in my final super world, I'm going to have this be a choice. So you can either do this one that's really hard, or you can do this one that's really long. And you can do both of them. This one's like a puzzly ghost house. This one's like a hard rising and falling goo level. My clear check time was around that. Yeah, like 2 minutes. A little faster than world record, I will note. Clear check time, faster than world record. Y'all can do better. I think y'all can beat my time. I'll say that. This one is an auto-scroller, so there's timing set. Or, well, actually, we were looking at clear rates, but 11%. So yeah, I think the trend is pretty much right in mine. 6%. This is World 7 though, so that's about right. 7%. Then 8% for Meteor Meltdown. So yeah, I think I'm nailing the difficulty trend as I go on. This one, by the way, is like a repeating checkpoint, so that clear rate isn't bad as it looks. These sections individually are not that hard. Thank you for the level, Lord Bowser. Let me hit complete on that. And yeah, thank you. I'm gonna bring down the... What's the thing to do it? It's like Z? X, there we go. I'm gonna play this one last level. I'm gonna play one last level from myself. And I'll send y'all somewhere. This is Arsenal Antics. Haven't played this in a bit. Haven't played this in a minute. We'll still do lightning round rules, whatever. Here, there's a little secret down here, if you go down and get it. So like I said, each of these rooms, you go through them in sequence, and each of them is built around a different hat. I'm gonna go from right to left in defiance of the, you know, common thing you would do. Gonna, you know, play them. A bunch of guys are like doing stuff in each room. You sort of have to deal with them, get through, and then hit a switch and come back. This level has a lot of good design to it. Also, I really like how each section uses like slightly different enemies, but also each enemy is used by at least like multiple sections, right? Except for the And each section sort of focus on different guys as well. So like this one focuses a lot on potobos and flying between them. I think that's rad as hell. Some of the other ones focus on like the hammer throws and like the bloopers. For the Goomba Hat one, made a lot of enemies that are dangerous if they become activated, but also a bunch of things that'll like passively attack, like these potobos right here. So that if you do end up like losing, so that there is a challenge there, and you can lose your hats if you're not careful. They are coming at you. Go. Ooh. Okay, I lost my hat, but that's fine. Gotta be good. Okay. I'll just pop a balloon there, that's fine. Okay, we're just gonna take the easy way now. There we go over here. Come over on this side. Ooh. And the thing is, the level repopulates itself with enemies as you're going one way and then the other. So you sort of get a different experience going one way and then the other. Thought that was really, really nice. Really good, like, way to do it. Last sequence here. Whoops. And when you get to the side, it often repopulates. Gives you your thing back. I got a checkpoint, so really I should have refreshed there, so I'm still at the right number of heads. That's the way the lightning round works with like repeating checkpoints, by the way. It refreshes every time you go to an area and come back, basically. After you get the last of the keys, you activate the thing, and there's a final sequence. And by the way, if you're curious how this works, if you die, you respawn back at the thing. I'll just show how this works. I would have restored and then unrestored. And since the on-off blocks are in the right place, you end up, going to this sequence. So it ends up being a way to do a red coin thing without, a red coin checkpoint without necessarily making it an actual checkpoint. A lot of levels that I've seen do that, so it's not like a new thing or nothing. It's just, like, if y'all didn't know that, that's a little pro tip for y'all. And this final sequence takes you through all the hats and lets you use them for a bit, which is, I think, a nice final sprint. Okay. Oh, hey, new first-time viewer. Now, I will say I don't usually reopen the queue for just about anyone, but for a new-time viewer, I will. Let me open it up for you, Casey. You want to get your level in? That was a great. I'll let you do so. But this is just for Casey, as y'all know. Go ahead and get that in. And I'll close it right up after you. And we'll play one last level to end here. One last level to end on. Holland B just commented on Koopaverse 1. But damn, what are the odds? Holland B was responsible for one of the... Wait, wasn't Holland B one of wasn't that one of Seagull's levels? Let me see the comment. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What are the odds? What's that? Cool idea. Look at that. I'm glad Holland B thought it was a cool idea. Yeah. We just played one of those levels. That's nice. Look at that. Yeah, Holland B. That wasn't one of you. That was the one Seagull gave us. So yeah, I guess Holland B saw we liked the level and just, played it back. Yeah, that's rad. And left a like as well. Yeah, that's cool. And Casey has gotten one in. I'm gonna close the queue now. All right, last level here by Casey. Go ahead and enter it in. And by the way, this is the lightning round. We have 5 tries to do the level. Refreshing at checkpoints. And that'll be that. Now I will say again, at the start of every viewer level stream, we do we do take as much time as we need, but that's not what this time is. This is the end of the stream. The end of the stream is lightning round, and it's a bit of fun. I say the end of the stream. I guess more recently it's been like the last 2 hours of the stream on average. I tend to go into lightning round around an hour in or so, and the lightning round then seems to last around, say, an hour to 2 hours. Maybe actually 90 minutes to 2 hours on average. Maybe we should start wrapping up sooner into the lightning round. I like a big lightning round though. That was pretty easy. Hang on, we gotta spend a little more time in this level.
Oh no!
Well, that's one way of doing that. I was sort of curious what was up with the mushroom, so I wanted to go get it. And I just jumped into a pit as a result. Okay, this...
Oh no!
The lightning round started growing on me. I love it. I love the lightning round. It's good. It adds a nice amount of like stakes to every level. Even like reasonably easy levels. Okay, enough fucking around here. This level we nearly had it, but I gave it out. I was like, nah. We gotta spend more time. We spend our time now. Let's fucking finish it. Let's finish the fight. We're finishing up here. I'm gonna take the high road, and
Oh no!
we're on our last try all of a sudden. This would be quite the throw. This would be quite the throw if we were to die here. Like, seriously, just, I had it. There was nothing stopping me. I just said like, oh, this feels unsatisfying. Gotta spend more time in here, in this nice little level. If I die, okay, good, okay.
Oh yeah! Mario time!
I nearly threw it. Can you believe that? Nearly through that level. Wasn't that hard. Thank you for the level, Jelly Fields. Oh, I can see how that would be, like, make for a good multiplayer versus stage, yeah. It's like a little level, and you can really just sprint through it, and it's a little bit chaotic, so it's very easy to fall if you're not being careful, if you're racing, which, I was kind of on the verge of racing on the subsequent tries. And it's based on Super Sponge for the GBA. Huh. Never played that. Never heard of that. Is it good? Is it good? Is it a good game? Thank y'all for the levels. Thank y'all in general. I'm gonna take the whole thing down. I'm gonna hit complete. Thank you, Casey. That level's been completed. Let's take all this down. And folks, thank you for coming by, for giving me your levels, for hanging out, and thank you for all sorts of things, for the follows, for playing my levels on occasion when when the mood strikes. Thank you for giving me your levels in return, and for raids, for subs. Thank you again, Marky Fluffy Bunch, Mark Fluffy Bunch earlier for the raid. Thank you, Hatter, for the raid yesterday. Thank y'all for yesterday on Sunday. Thank y'all for donating during the randomizer roulette on Sunday for extra life, and thank you in general for a lot of things. Let me pull up the this week's streaming schedule. Usually I do a Monday, Thursday, Friday schedule, but that is actually entirely opposite this week because of Thanksgiving, and also because of my extra life stream on Sunday. Today we did noon Central lunchtime viewer levels. And on Wednesday we're doing more viewer levels. That's tomorrow. And more. And I'm thinking the more will be, maybe we'll start out by doing a bunch of Super Mario Maker 2 single player. Just like going through those levels one after another. And just sort of thinking about like how they're designed. And then at the end we'll do like a bunch of viewer levels that have built up throughout that part. Basically throughout that, submit levels, and at the end we'll just blast through them as like an additional thing on top of that. That's my thought. And no Thursday and no Friday. Alright, let me see who's online. And yeah, cheers Holland B, if you were watching while Seagull put your level in. That'd be quite the coincidence. If so, let me see who's online. Hado is playing God of War Ragnarok on hard. Jeez, I think that game's hard already, making it harder. Wow. Katie May is doing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet / Violet, one or the other. That's nice. Elevator is doing Monster Hunter Rise. I think that's kind of his main game. Trihex is doing Sonic Frontiers. Waypoint is doing Cyberpunk. That's unusual. Don't usually see Waypoint streaming, but Waypoint, I think, usually streams during working hours, and I'm usually working during working hours, so that's why I've never seen them online, I guess. Spike Vegeta's doing Elden Ring. Giant Bomb is doing the Giant Bombcast. Jeff Gersman is doing the Jeff Gersman Show. Who should we raid? Elevator's doing a really big, has like a lot of people down. I don't want to see God of War spoilers, so let's not go with that. How about Pokemon? You know what? We got a raid from someone earlier who was playing Pokemon, so why don't we send y'all to Katie May, formerly known as Orchestra, a trans speedrunner type person who also does other things. I think she's done like some Pokemon speedruns. She's done like Legend of Zelda not Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild speedruns. And also does other such things. And yeah, doing all day Pokemon right now, so that sounds fun. Let's do that. Katie May _ Alright, folks, I'm gonna open that stream on my end so I can see it and see it go through. Thank y'all for coming by, for giving me all your levels. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. And I will be, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start out by playing through, like, all the single player, or a bunch of the single player levels in Super Mario Maker 2, which I haven't played in ages. And I think it'll be interesting to reflect on those and see, like, oh, what kind of level things did they do that no one else do? Let's look at those and think about them. Think deeply about it. I think that'll be fun for a Wednesday. And after that's probably back to schedule as usual, but no streams on Thursday, Friday this week, and no stream on Friday next week. So some weirdness in the schedule in the near future, but you know, still should be cool. Also, one last thing. Again, again, thank y'all for contributing so much to Extra Life on Sunday. And if anyone wants to kick in a few bucks here or there and get us back up to the goal, now would be a great time to do so. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all. And here's the schedule again for this week. Bye, y'all.